You guys, you are holding us back. You are holding us all back. You're holding us back from your greatness. Like, I am so pumped right now. I had to tag Whitney on this post. If you don't know, Whitney is one of my friends, obviously, here on Facebook. But she also shows up to Ed Talk TV all the time over on the Facebook page, right? Today we talked about your About page and how to structure it. So if you missed out or if you're looking for that, it's great info over there. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is talking about, Aaron, welcome, is talking about how you guys have to show up, you have to deliver, and you have to engage. And we talk about that. And Whitney, you will see my post. I replied in the comments over on today's episode, my excitement for your website. You guys, quick backstory, because this ties into everyone, is Whitney was over on the show watching, and we were talking about websites and how you guys, if you have a website, you just got to do it. Like, just get it out there. Don't worry about how many pages you have to have, how much stuff you have to have on the page. Like, literally, just get it done. Like, put up a page that gives me who you are, how I can get in contact with you, and that's it. Like, everything else can be extra, right? But we were talking about that today, and so Whitney had said that she was going to finally then hit publish on her site tonight. It's something that's been, weighing her down a little bit, and I got to tell you, Whitney, you can pop it in the comments here as well so people can see it later. But man, I was so pumped. If you can't tell, I'm still pumped. Like, you guys, I didn't even go over to see her other pages on her menu. I literally, the first thing that caught my eye was her clean logo, okay? Then from there, I scrolled down the page and I was stuck on the homepage in a good way. I was like, what? Like, where's this been? Like, why have you been holding back on us? Like, why have you kept that behind closed doors? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you guys, I don't care if you're starting a business, if you're running a business, if you're just working a 9-to-5 and you're kind of thinking about doing something for a friend or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Try it and do it. Stop holding back. Stop holding your excuses, because we need to see it, right? You guys show up and you see things that I'm putting out there. You see all the things that I'm testing and that we're seeing and just doing, and it's fun, and I'm able to do it, right? I guess it was fear, right, Whitney? It always is the fear that holds us back. I will tell you the same with me as well. And of course, we're afraid of being judged. We're afraid that we're not going to live up to other people's expectations. We're afraid that we're going to get a bad review, or that someone's going to come to our site and say, oh my gosh, like that doesn't look good. You have to change X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter. The point is that you have to start, though. Because if you don't start, then you're going to be with everyone else. You're not going to stand out, right? You have to start and get that feedback from people. Sure, that's awesome. Like, if people are going to give you feedback, great. Guess what? You're one step ahead of them, right? That's what you need to be doing. So try not to let the fear hold you back. Do it afraid. Exactly. Do it afraid. Because here's the thing. I mean, look at how excited I am for Whitney, who just published her site tonight, because we talked about it on the show, because she's been following, she's been doing the work. I'm excited. And now I'm sharing her website out. I'm sharing out her story to help you guys, right? It's not just about me. It's not just about Whitney. It's about all of us and being able to show up and deliver and engage. Welcome, Erica. Whitney just published her site. We talked about it in the comments over on Ed Talk TV, the episode from today. It looks amazing. Of course, like I said before, and I tell you guys this all the time, is your website's never going to be perfect. It's never done. It's always a work in progress. You have to understand that, and you have to not play the comparison game too much. You'll see on my website, you might go over there later and say, dang, Ed's website's like fire right now. Well, guess what? It wasn't when I first started. 3 years into it now, it should be, right? I should have something that's super clean, easy to use, and that really is mapped out, and that's organized in a way that is not only pleasing to me, but to you as the visitor. So understand that it takes time. You have to at least start, though. You have to at least put it out there. You have to test. You have to be able to see what's working and what's not. And you can't do that all while still having it behind closed doors. And I'm talking about websites right now, but whatever you're working on, you can apply it to that as well. You just really need to get out there and show up, right? I mean, take the thing that I'm just started with, the Hey Ed membership, right? It's something I've always wanted to do. It's something that I've sort of been doing, but I just haven't packaged it together. And it's things that you guys have been asking me for nonstop. Well, now I packaged it together and the response has been awesome. Like, it's crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, man, why didn't I do this before? Because I had to go through the different stages of my business and of the tech to get to where I'm at now, right? My whole business is always a train wreck. Exactly. Entrepreneurship, you guys, is a train wreck, but it's a good one because you learn from it. You have to go through those steps. You have to be able to go through and take little pieces and understand what comes next. You know, it's the same thing. I don't know about how many of you guys are actually have followed me for a while, or if you know my story, but my first business was a magazine. I started and ran my own magazine for 2 years, produced 4 issues, 2 of which were printed, all 4 are online. I did that during my part-time jobs, so I had 2, well, sometimes 3 part-time jobs while finishing college and running my own magazine. Like, that's a lot of work, and I loved it. And did it make me a lot of money? No. Did it make me some money? Yeah, maybe, but not as much as I put out. But it gave me the experience I needed. It gave me a step above of where I was wanting to go, and it opened up so many doors, right? And that's how I got to where I'm at now. I had to go through that, and I have no regrets whatsoever. Like, that was the best thing that ever could have happened. And it was because it all started because what? I started. I thought to myself, oh, I don't want to really move to New York at that time to go work for Men's Health, because that was the dream. I was like, it's not going to work, because the life that I want to live is definitely not going to be sustainable if I move to New York, because it's too expensive and I'm not going to get paid what I want to be able to live the New York lifestyle, right? So I said, okay, well, I can't do that, and commuting would be kind of a pain in the butt, right? I mean, how am I going to commute at 5-hour plane ride every day? Like, it's not going to work. So I decided, why not start my own magazine? And what did I do? I picked up a book. I started to read it. One thing led to another. The snowball effect happened. And I said, well, we'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens. And what happened? I had four issues. I had 2 concerts that one I put on, and one I helped put on, and then the other one was the band that actually was on the cover, Thriving Ivory, who at the time was VH1's #1 artist. So I was able to get in contact with them and have them on my premiere issue of the cover. I had so many connections, not just with my friends, but new people online that submitted artwork, that submitted articles. You guys, it's a full-on magazine. I don't know if you realize this. Like, I don't know if any of you have actually seen this yet, but if you haven't, it's on my website. Matter of fact, after this, I'll put a link in the bio, or in the comments here, for those who are curious, because it's legit. Like, it's legit. And it's awesome. And the whole idea for that magazine was it wasn't supposed to make me a ton of money. It was a free magazine. It was going to be supported by advertising. And literally the whole time, my goal, you guys, was to have the business sustain itself. I could make money by working another part-time job. That's not a problem. I'm used to that. I love that. It's okay. But if the magazine could have sustained itself, then I would have been fine. And after 2 years, I had to make that hard call and say, you know what? We're going to close shop. If I have to, I can always open it up. But for right now, I'm going to close shop, because it gave me what I needed. It got me to where I needed to be in that time. It got me to the next big thing, which was working with a client in New York and getting into events and things like that. It got me to love the hair. Yeah, it's all messy. Venus, I gotta get a haircut. It's a mess over here. We're in the kitchen because I'm cooking dinner. It's a little bit late, but this is your, like, after hours cooking with Ed type thing. But that's the thing. It's like you have to just start. Nothing is perfect. If it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, no problem. Take a look at what happened, what you did, and understand that it's going to lead to something. Like, you have to look at the opportunities that it brought you, and there's always going to be something. I'm just going to pour this pasta up in here. I don't know about you guys, but this is a side note. I haven't tried this yet, but the one that was before this wasn't good. But you know, I got some ground turkey that I got to eat. So anyway, but that's the thing. Like, you have to just try. You have to try. And here's the thing, you guys. If you are working a 9-to-5 right now, and you have that security blanket, if you will, this is the time to give yourself a shot, as long as it doesn't compete with, go against any of your rules with your, at least it's not the can opener. Erica, you're right. As long as you're not breaking any rules with your employer about doing whatever you need to be doing on the side, take this opportunity. Are you kidding me? Take this opportunity and do the business, whatever it is. Like, give yourself a shot. And it's the best time because you have the 9-to-5 to still support you, right? So now your only excuse, because I already know what your excuse is, your excuse right now is, but Ed, I don't have any time. I work 9-to-5, and then I have the kids, and then I have this and that. Well, guess what? If you're passionate about it, you're going to make it time for it. Whether it's 10 minutes a day, whether it's a half hour a week, whatever it is. It may take you longer. But you're gonna get it done. You guys, I had my magazine, I worked 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs, I will say, depending on the time frame. Most of the time, it was 2 part-time jobs. Yes, I was single at the time. I'm still single, but at the time I was single. So I didn't have kids, but I still worked 2 part-time jobs at a minimum, and was going to school, and was working on the magazine in the evenings till late in the morning. Well, early in the morning, I guess you can say. Like, because I loved it. I was passionate about it. It's what I wanted to do. So that's what you have to find out and do for you as well for that. My sideline gig took over 9-to-5. Yeah, and I was able to leave. Yeah, see? And then you decide what happens next, because things could take off. And from there, you figure it out. If the magazine was going to take off, yeah, I would do that. I would have done that full time. That would have been awesome. But I have no regrets because it gave me what I needed. And then going from that to where I am now, and the growth in this past 3 years has been amazing. And it's all because I invested in myself. I gave myself a shot. I saw the opportunity. I saw the window, and I said, okay, the universe was... I will say I held back for quite a while. I did hold back. I was planning my exit strategy. Yes, exactly, Mickey. There you go. The magazine led me to you guys. I will say that when I was right before starting my business full time, because I've always done my own business, but full time, it's one of those things that like the universe had to really like knock on the door, bang the door, and really go in with whatever the police thing is, to like be like, Ed, listen up. It is time. Invest in yourself. Get out there. People need to hear from you. People need to know about you. They need your help. You can help more people if you can just break free of the 4 walls that have you in your 9-to-5 and keep it moving. It took a lot for me. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but before I even went full time back at the 9-to-5, I was afraid to go full time. Okay? I was afraid to go full time. I still remember at the time one of my managers, you know who you are, had pulled me to the side and was like, "So I see you didn't apply for the full-time position. Like, why?" Well, to be honest, it kind of scares me to have one thing full-time. I'd rather work part-time jobs so that I have a variety of things that I'm doing so I don't get bored, and, I don't want all my eggs in one basket, which you guys can probably tell. So it was weird. And then when I finally made that commitment to full time, it was like, oh, okay, this is like a lot. I hope this works. And so it did, it was fine and whatever. But then it was the next level, like, okay, Ed, now what? Now you did this. Now what? What else are you going to do? Because you have to get out there. You have to do more. Like you just can't stay in these walls. And thankfully, it's been working out 3 years later, and things are still moving and shaking. And I've been blessed, and I'm keeping my head up, and I'm making sure that I continue to innovate and keep up with everything, and just show up and deliver. And engage, of course. I mean, engagement is huge. But going back to the beginning of what we're doing with this live here is that you really need to just start. It doesn't matter what the excuse is for you. I will say, because we're going to say an excuse, right? Because it's fear. We're going to say an excuse. We're going to give all these excuses to ourselves. But I'm also going to be, I guess, devil's advocate, if that's the correct way to say it, right now. And I'm going to say this. One of your excuses is going to be, I don't have enough money, Ed. You don't need money. You have free resources. You have a podcast. You have podcasts you can listen to. You got the library. You got the internet. It's a thing called Google. You got Facebook. You have Facebook Live. You don't need any fancy equipment, because I know that's the next thing you're thinking about. Well, if I don't have money, I can't get the fancy equipment. No, you already have it in your pocket. You don't need it. What's another excuse that we give ourselves? I don't have the time. We talked about that. Well, if you're passionate about it, you're going to make the time for it. If you're not passionate about it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Because if you are hoping that it leads to something, chances are it has to be something you're passionate about, because it takes time. So just understand that. You have a website. Let's go with that example, right? Kimberly, good one. I'm not smart enough. That's a good excuse. But you are. We all are. We're smart enough to know what it is that we're passionate about. And if we don't, we'll find out by trial and error, right? And on top of that, we will find out how we can get the knowledge we need. Whether that's directly, meaning if I'm trying to figure out, let me just pretend that I'm not a techie, okay? If I'm not a techie and I'm trying to figure out how to build a website, what are my two options? Well, I can, 1, research and study it, or 2, hire somebody. Well, if I don't have the money, then I got to have the time. And even though I don't have the time, I got to make the time, because I don't want to spend the money. So it's a trade-off. So you have to figure that out. So there's that. And again, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, taking free courses, all that kind of stuff. Mickey, if you're not passionate about it, yeah, exactly, when you should be doing it. Exactly. Because think about it, you guys. Those of you who are running your business, and if you haven't started yet, you'll find this out. It takes time. You may make money right off the bat, whether small or big, but if you want it to last, you have to be passionate about it, because you're on this roller coaster all the time. Things change from minute to minute, day to day, month to month. It's a lot of work. You guys know, you see it all the time. So you have to understand that. Good one, Anita. I don't have enough content. This is good. See, you guys are good. I gotta start fixing this dinner soon, but this is good. I don't have enough content. Yes, you do. You all have enough content. Why? Because now you're going to leave this live and you're going to understand that you're shifting your mindset a little bit. That what my good friend Kim Doyle would say, everything is content. That's what she's all about. Everything is content. So shout out to Kim for that one. And it's true. You have plenty of content. If you go live, then you save that video and you cut it up and make 30-second clips that you can share out to the world. This video right now, I could totally take this video, and I don't even know how long we've been going live. I don't have it on the list here. Well, I know it's been about 10 minutes since I put the timer on, so probably 15 minutes. I can pull probably a handful, if not more, clips that I can then share out later on social media. So you do have content now because you know that your mind is shifting. So that's for all of us. Yep, YouTube, Kimberly. What's another one that I hear a lot? We have the time, we have the money. Notice that I said we have time, we have money. See what I did there? We have time, we have money, we have resources. Oh, we have resources, both free and paid, because you're here, you're using it, you're using, I was going to go with something else in terms of Google, but we're not on Google right now. But you could be because you're commenting. And if you were on one of our episodes for Ed Talk TV, I think last week we talked about how when you comment, believe it or not, guys, when you comment on these videos, well, I should say, I don't know if it will happen to all of them. I know it happens on my lives because my lives, not this one, but my ones from my business page, they actually go on my blog and then they show up in Google. So when you Google yourself, guess what? You pop up on Google, probably the second or third page, and it's tied to Ed Troxel. That's why I say the magic happens in the comments, because you just never know. So if you're trying to stand out a little bit more, there's a tip for you. Start showing up over on the business page. Start commenting. Get that stuff out there. Let's see. So we have time, we have money, we have resources. Now we just have to start, right? Just got to start. And I'm going to leave you on that because I need to start on this dinner because I am hungry and it's almost 8:30 and I got to go. So thank you guys so much for showing up. This was awesome, and thank you for commenting because that's great. I'm going to go back through them later and take a look at them. But this was awesome. Random live. Do you notice that? Random live. I decided, you know what? I'm feeling it. Whitney showed up. She shared her content with me. I was so proud of her. And from that, I was like, I can't just comment. I can't just share a photo. I got to go live. And I don't care what people say. I don't care, if my hair's all messed up, if I'm in the kitchen, if I'm cooking, I don't, whatever. The message is good, and I know you guys are going to receive it. So that's all that matters. So thank you so much for showing up, and I hope that you'll start tagging me on things that you just start doing. Okay? Thanks. Take care.